This video will cover the topic, solving a trigonometric equation involving a squared function. In these problems, we will be given a trigonometric equation with a squared function, such as secant squared of x minus 4 equals 0, and we'll be asked to solve for x. Let's try solving this equation. We first add 4 to both sides. If we take the square root of both sides, this results in secant x equals plus or minus 2. We know that secant of x equals 1 over cosine of x, so cosine of x equals plus or minus 1/2. We remember that a cosine value of 1/2 occurs at pi thirds, 5 pi thirds, and any angles coterminal to these angles. A cosine value of negative 1/2 occurs at 2 pi thirds, 4 pi thirds, and any of their coterminal angles.
That's a lot of solutions. Is there a condensed way to write all of this?
There is. We can express these solutions as x equals pi thirds plus 2k pi, k element z, x equals 5 pi thirds plus 2k pi, k element z, and so on.
What does this notation mean?
The element symbol, that kind of looks like an E, means is an element of a certain set, and the Z symbol means the set of all integers. So, for example, in the first solution, x equals pi thirds plus 2k pi, k element z, we read that x is equal to pi thirds plus 2k pi such that k is an integer. This notation allows us to account for all coterminal angles of pi thirds. In this problem, we can even condense our solutions further. The first and fourth equations can be condensed to x equals pi thirds plus k pi, k element z, and the second and third equations can be condensed to x equals 2 pi thirds plus k pi, k element z. This results in our final solutions to the equation secant squared of x minus 4 equals 0. Let's take a look at a more advanced example. Let's say we're given the equation 2 sine squared theta minus 3 sine theta minus 2 equals 0, and we're asked to find all the solutions to the equation.
That looks a lot like a quadratic. I think we'll need to factor it, but I'm not really sure how to do that with the trig functions included.
That's a good observation. We definitely need to factor the equation in order to solve. If it looks too confusing, we can say that x equals sine theta and rewrite our equation. We can factor the quadratic, which results in the quantity 2x plus 1 times the quantity x minus 2 equals 0. Now we can replace the x's with sine theta, and we know that if the equation has a solution, at least one of the factors must equal 0. When we solve for one factor, we see that theta equals 7 pi 6 plus 2k pi and 11 pi 6 plus 2k pi. For the other factor, theta has no solution. We remember that the 2k pi accounts for all coterminal angles of 7 pi 6 and 11 pi 6. So our final answer is theta equals 7 pi 6 plus 2k pi, k element z, or theta equals 11 pi 6 plus 2k pi, k element z.
Okay, so when solving a trigonometric equation involving a squared function, we must determine whether or not we need to first factor the squared function. When writing our answer to these problems, we use special notation that accounts for the terminal angles of our solution, defining that E means an element of and Z means the set of all integers.
That's exactly right. Great work!